What's up, guys? I'm Steven.
And I'm Kylie. And if you are a short-term rental host with 1 or 2 or 10 properties and you need to free up some mental headspace with a reliable channel manager, then this video is for you.
We want to help you list your property on all the main booking platforms, as well as your own direct booking website without having a bunch of headaches.
Or at least less headaches than you might anticipate.
I have a headache.
We found a channel manager that did all of that for us, and it might help you out as well.
So earlier this year, we found ourselves on the verge of an epic battle.
The battle's actually been going on for a long time. Imagine our short-term rental business is a little walled-off city, but lurking outside the city walls is a big and terrifying dragon.
I'm so scared.
I like dragons.
That dragon is guarding the key that is going to help us expand our city, but we have to conquer him first.
Previously, we'd been operating our business in a very manual way with very few automation solutions.
And even though we knew that adding a channel manager would have huge benefits to the operations of our business, the idea of actually implementing a channel manager seemed like an impossible feat.
We felt safe in our little walled city, in our comfort zone, but to solve this problem, we're gonna have to go outside the walls, outside of our comfort zone.
And take on that big dragon if we wanted to optimize our operations and take our business to the next level.
We told ourselves that we didn't have time to take on onboarding a channel manager, that they were expensive.
And most of the options out there were promoting features that kind of went against the core values of our business, and more on that later.
So we kept finding reasons or excuses to not battle the dragon, even though the reward would be great. Months went on, but the dragon didn't go away.
Instead, it got bigger and bigger as our portfolio grew, and implementing a channel manager became an even more time-consuming and complex process.
What was also growing during this time was a feeling that we wanted to rely less on Airbnb.
We really wanted to increase our direct bookings and also get our entire portfolio on Vrbo and Google Vacation Rentals.
Previously, we had instant booking turned off on Vrbo as well as on our website, and we had to manually review and approve bookings on both those areas, as well as manually set pricing and check calendars. To solve this, we had 3 options.
Option 1 was to just march on and list our entire portfolio on Vrbo and Google Vacation Rentals and just keep manually tracking the calendars and the pricing and just hope that we don't get any double bookings.
But this was asking for serious trouble. Double bookings were inevitable. The workload of keeping up-to-date pricing and maintaining settings and listings on all those platforms was huge, considering how many properties we had for ourselves or managed for others.
Option 2, we could keep the status quo and not introduce any new booking platforms, continue to keep a heavy focus on Airbnb with our direct bookings, and have Airbnb sync our calendar between them and our direct booking site.
But this would mean continued heavy reliance on Airbnb and less exposure for not being on the other platforms.
Option 3, we slay the dragon, and the dragon being the time-consuming process of implementing a channel manager.
As you can see from the title of the video, we decided to go with option C, and then we started really researching which channel manager we wanted to pick.
We narrowed down our search to 4 options: OwnerRez, Lodgify, Guesty, and Uplisting.
Some of the things we didn't like when we checked out other tools such as OwnerRez was the interface felt very clunky
and not very intuitive. Some of them had features that we knew we weren't going to use and therefore didn't want to pay for.
There was also a big push for full automation, and this is something, like we've shared before, is just not how we want to run our business.
We're all for smart automation, but not full hands-off automation. And we'll link a video below if you want to check out our reasoning behind all of that.
Ultimately, we decided on Uplisting, and here are some of the things that we really like about it.
Before that, I do want to say that none of these options are necessarily bad. We're just talking about what was working the best for our business. And honestly, none of them were even perfect. It's just kind of like finding the one that's going to be the best match. So we started with a free trial with Uplisting, where you can upload all of your property details onto their platform in a read-only mode. This was helpful because we really got to play around with all of the features within Uplisting without really jumping all in and turning things on.
Yeah, we were really nervous about just giving any PMS control and just hitting go. So we spent about 3 weeks with this free trial.
During that trial period, we also had to complete the integrated property management process with Vrbo.
This is something you have to go through with Vrbo when you implement any property management software. They take any existing listings that you have on the platform and they kind of tweak them to be able to use the PMS, and then they create listing pages for other properties that you want to newly add to the platform.
This process with Vrbo took about a week for our portfolio of about 40 properties, and it did require a lot of back and forth of answering questions to get everything set up properly.
Once the Vrbo integrated property management process was done, that was the last step before we were really ready for Uplisting to have full control.
Before we finally hit go on Uplisting, we had an onboarding call with them just to go over any last minute tweaks. They checked over all of our listings and made sure that all of our settings were correct.
We also made sure to take any notes of any calendar blocks that we'd added to Airbnb, as well as notes on direct bookings that we had, just in case something really went wrong with a full integration.
Overall, the onboarding and integration process was really smooth. Uplisting was very helpful. In order to build out your Uplisting profile, it pulls all of your data from Airbnb. So your listing descriptions, your photos, all of the amenities, everything. So really the most time-consuming part of all of it was just going through property by property and making sure that everything's synced up correctly.
We went live about 4 months ago, and we've been really happy with it so far.
Oh, and I guess we forgot to mention one of the things that we really liked about Uplisting that set it apart from other channel managers was that they do have direct integration with Google Vacation Rentals.
At the time of the video, not many PMSs do have native integration with Google Vacation Rentals, so this was important. And what this enables is to create a property listing page on Google's vacation rental platform, really Google's search platform. So anytime someone searches a map for a vacation rental, they might find yours and ultimately be directed to your direct booking website.
Let's talk a little bit about the interface.
The main view of Uplisting is a multi-calendar, which is similar to Airbnb. Here you can filter by a specific property or view them all. You can also quickly edit pricing here called spot rates.
We have rules set to adjust our nightly rates by a percentage up or down for each platform, and those changes are synced to all of the platforms in real time. You can also adjust your minimum length of stay for each date.
The interface here is intuitive and straightforward. We don't have a pricing tool connected. You can watch one of our previous videos, we'll link here to explain why, but Uplisting does have support for both Price Labs and Wheelhouse.
From the multi-calendar view, you can click the property name that will take you to all the listing details. Here you can edit the listing description, photos, amenities, taxes and fees, etc. Uplisting gives a little color code that shows which features are applicable to which platform.
All of these features we found to be pretty complete, but there are a few areas, especially like the amenity descriptions, where we found that Uplisting doesn't have those. So you have to go on to your Airbnb or Vrbo account and check that those amenity descriptions are correct and complete.
Next in the interface is the automation section. Here you have the ability to configure automated messaging and messaging templates. So far, we're just using the templates that we can customize a little bit for each guest.
The direct booking part of the site is pretty straightforward. You can set up a custom URL and configure your listing pages, and Uplisting will host that.
But since we already had a website design that we had been using and we like with other features like our blog, we kept all of our property pages and booking calendars as is on our website, for now at least.
We also had our web developer create a redirect. So from the property page, when a guest selects date, that then goes to Uplisting's direct booking site where they can complete the booking.
This process has worked well for us so far, and I think the booking page on Uplisting looks a lot cleaner than it did previously on our website.
When a guest completes a direct booking, that shows up on your Uplisting inbox, and you can send messages to them just like you would if they booked on any booking platform.
We've used Floorspace for our web design for years, and we've had nothing but positive experiences with them.
They're currently working on an overhaul of our WordPress site, and eventually there will be a tighter integration between Uplisting's booking engine and our website property pages, but for now this is working just fine.
So as we've been using Uplisting over the past few months, we have asked them to integrate some customized features for us.
On the direct booking pages, we'd like customizable fields here to allow guests to acknowledge our house rules, for example, and share a little bit about their trip and who they're traveling with.
Similar to a pre-booking message on Airbnb. Uplisting has a features request section on their website where users can go in and make suggestions, which is something that we really like and appreciate.
Yep, that's a great feature. People can vote or add comments to your feature request if they support it, or add context. So it's a nice little section, and they do pay attention to that.
Customer service with Uplisting has also been great.
They have a live chat feature that first gives like AI responses, which have actually been helpful to some of our questions because they do have this like huge knowledge base of like support articles and topics.
And if the AI doesn't have the answer to our question, we are able to get an answer from an actual live person within a few hours.
Just want to talk to a human being.
If we had to give a complaint, it would be around the mobile app. Right now, its functionality is limited to just responding to messages and viewing the calendar with guest booking details.
Currently, if you want to make changes to the calendar, like adjusting prices or length of stay minimums, then you have to open up their web-based app, which is fine. It's passable, but it's not the best.
Uplisting has been making regular updates to this mobile app though, and they say, and I believe they'll have increased functionality in the next few weeks.
So if you're watching this video in July, forget what we just said.
If you have any specific questions about how uplisting works or features, drop them in the comments below and we'll be sure to answer them.
And if you want to schedule a call with Uplisting to see if it would be a good fit for you, please use our link in the description below.
The sales and onboarding team at Uplisting are great. We had several calls with them to really flesh out a lot of our questions before we even started the free trial, so don't hesitate to hit them up.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.